Greetings, United Church of Canada. My name is Wendy Evans, and I'm here with one of our ecumenical partners representing Latin America and the World Student Christian Federation with Marcelo. And Marcelo and I were actually supposed to gather for pre-meetings leading up to the COP25 in Chile, and in Spanish, and with a large representation of the local community there that is so engaged on the ground. But as we know, the conference has been moved to Madrid. So I was wondering, Marcelo, if you could speak to the significance of what's going on in Latin America and what that meant for a lack of participation and voices being heard at this particular conference.
Thank you, Wendy, for this opportunity. Yes, indeed, it was so frustrating for us, this change of venue, not only because we have been organizing multiple partnership events there in Chile with Latin American faith-based organizations, social movements, and also local churches, and with our delegation, but also it means a lot in terms of the voices from Latin America. As you may know, this is not just a simple change of venue. This represents a more deep situation of what is going on in Latin America. Not only in Chile. Chile is the particular case right now where people is demonstrating in the street after 30 years of inequalities, fighting against neoliberalism. And this change is a representation of how the governments and the integration right now in Latin America is trying to hide what is going on there. Not only Chile, Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador. So something is going on there, and unfortunately it's not being represented here by the presidents of the COP. So we are here to do something about it.
Yeah, and as has certainly been lifted up, that you can't have climate justice without human rights justice, and particularly in what's going on currently in Latin America. And can you speak to a little bit about what your organization, the World Student Christian Federation in Latin America and globally, is doing to respond to the climate justice that holds all of those aspects of justice together?
Sure. Well, the World Student Christian Federation have a global program on eco-justice. We said economy, ecology, and ecumenism. And the program tried to interact, try to dialogue with the different concepts which have the same roots, the ecumenism, ecology, and economy. And how this unfair relation between economy and ecology have created more inequalities, poverty, depredation of the nature. So we were basically with the movements trying to capacitate them, trying to create advocacy tools for them to work at the local level, with a more critical voice in what actually means climate justice. You know, sometimes we heard about climate justice as a nice word, but it's a very, very important word to be addressed. And climate justice means economic justice, social justice, with the most vulnerable affected by the climate change. Now, one of the main projects we have in Latin America is very related with the relationship between extractivism, human rights, peace building, and ecology. Especially focused on Colombia, but also right now we can see in Brazil, we can see in Chile, of course, in Ecuador. So how this advance of new colonialization in Latin America, this is not new, but it's a reloaded colonialization in terms of extractivism, have created not only an ecological crisis, but also the persecution, the murder of social leaders, peasant leaders, indigenous people. So we want to address this as a whole concept on climate justice.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marcelo. Thankfully for your presence, that you were able to come and to then represent on behalf of so many that are in your context.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And we will certainly take that all back to our own home communities as well.